I would like to thank Mr. Stuart Dunkin and his whole staff for opening up this beautiful, beautiful location. I think it's beautiful. Thank you so much for making us feel at home. So I'd like to share with you a story, which I think from this story, you'll learn a profound insight into really be a successful business person, irrelevant if you're a retailer, a wholesaler, a professional, a doctor, an accountant, in any industry. The concept applies across the board. The story goes back approximately 250 years ago, and the story took place in the times of the first Chabad Rebbe, known as the Alter Rebbe. And there was once a Chassid, which is an ardent follower of the first Chabad Rebbe, came to him, as many Chassidim do. They come for spiritual advice, blessings, concerns that they had. And this Chassid came to the Alter Rebbe with a concern. This was his story. He was a very wealthy individual, and as we know, the wheel of fortune is a wheel. So there's times you're on top, and times you're on the bottom, and that's the beauty of life. Because you're in the bottom, you don't have to be so depressed, because soon you'll be on top. And if you're on top, you don't have to be so arrogant, because you might soon be on the bottom. That's the wheel of life. So he was a very wealthy individual, and also very kind, philanthropic, had an open house, took in people that had no family, and brought them up, married them off, and so on and so forth. But as the wheel of fortune turns, his turn for the bad. And he lost all his money, and he couldn't support his family, and not only his family, but all the people that were relying on him. So he came to the Alter Rebbe, the first Chabad Rebbe, for advice. And comes in, and as a chassid opens up his heart, and just shares with the Rebbe his sad story about his struggles, and he needs this, and he needs that, and so on and so forth. Now, I'm not a Rebbe, so it's not my advice. I'm sharing with you a story. So the Rebbe turns to him and says to him, you've been standing here for the last 10 minutes and telling me you need this, and you need that, and you need this other thing, and all your needs. But I haven't heard you once say what you're needed for. Now, obviously, it hit a chord within this chassid, and it moved him that he told his people that he came with that he's not going back home. He's staying here to really do some soul searching and try to figure out how did he come from this person that was always thinking about other people, but now the only thing he can talk to the Rebbe about is all his needs. And it's true, he had many, many needs, but I mean, you should start thinking about what am I needed for in this world? He stayed there for a while, didn't go back home. And they came and they said, listen, we have some questions. He said, I don't want to hear about anything. I need to transform myself. Once I'm done, I'll be ready to come home. Sure enough, he stayed there for 3 months. And after 3 months, he was a transformed individual, and he got himself back centered. Once he got himself back centered, news came to him that it was one of his business deals that he was involved in that actually lost tremendous money. One of the deals that pulled him down miraculously turned around. As we know, every market that goes up comes down, everything that goes down eventually goes up. And it did a miraculous turnaround, and he became again fabulously wealthy. And obviously he went back home, and he became extremely, once again, successful. Afterwards, they told the Alter Rebbe the story, and they said to him, wow, how do you know this? And he said, I don't know, this is strictly basic Kabbalah, which means that if you take care of your spiritual needs, and if you're in a healthy spiritual place, if you're concerned about another person, God will take care of you. And I think if you take this concept and apply it to any business you're in, if you think about what your client, your customer, your patient, the person that's there, that comes to you, think of what you can do for them, you will be taken care of automatically. Versus if you think about what they can do for me, obviously you can think that and eventually nothing happens for yourself. I think it's a very simple lesson. Think what you can do for your customer, think what you can do for your client, think what you can do for the other, and God will take care of you.